Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 80 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 80. Um, so, technically, this is one I should have done yesterday, and I'm skipping the one I should have done Friday. But anyway, I was having some issues yesterday. Mostly just me getting stuck inside myself because I didn't do some things that I normally do on Friday, and I was kind of disappointed with myself, and so I was just um, processing or not processing, avoiding my emotions, things that I normally do. And a friend, my Al-Anon friend, B, going to talk about a couple Al-Anon friends, so I figure how to give them a letter or something, distinguish between the two. But anyway, she sent me a text message and wanted to go out to eat, and I told her maybe, I don't know, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for the day, but she was sick, she wasn't feeling good, and I didn't really want to be around someone coughing all of dinner. Plus, as much as I love my Al-Anon friend B, she can be very emotionally draining, and I was already in an emotional place, and I just wasn't in a mood. I was like, I wasn't really in a mood to be around people, and then I just didn't feel like I had enough to like give to someone else. And I was like, okay, I need time to wake up and to figure out what I'm doing for the day and get myself moving and read my scriptures and meditationals and kind of just change my state of mind, which I can do. It just takes time. It takes reading my scriptures and meditationals. It takes praying to God. It takes just getting moving to get out of my head, out of my crazy space or depressed space or my lack of interest in space. So it takes some time to do that. And then she got all mad at me and was texting me and saying that our friendship was over because I'm a horrible friend and it's not that hard to be a good friend. And I was like, you're right. I'm not the best at being a good friend. That's why it's on my list of weekly things is to be more social and to reach out to people, and I'm still not good at it. So it's like, you're right. I'm sorry. I will try to do better, but I was like, you're not really making this an enticing option for me right now. And then you just don't want to be my friend anymore because I don't want to go to dinner. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Um, and I didn't know you were having a bad day. And she's like, don't you listen? Don't you this? There was a whole bunch of, it was all in text messages. It wasn't like a verbal conversation, but I was taking a lot of it personally. And so then I was avoiding my emotions like I always do. And then I got up and got to make something to eat and I started praying because I was like, God, I can't do this today. And I realized that I just didn't want to deal with the drama for the day. And I was just, that I deserve better than that in my life, that I don't need to deal with that kind of drama, and that I prefer relationships that don't have conditions on them. Like the condition if I don't go out to eat with her as many times as she wants or whatever, that I can't be her friend anymore or something like that. And I was like, okay, but I there are certain foods I can't eat, and most of the times when you go to restaurants or places, it's really hard to get something that doesn't have dairy in it of some form or another. Um, it really is. Even in a salad, they put cheese in salad. It's like, seriously. Um, and I get it. It's yummy food, but I can't have it. And so it's really hard for me to find food on the menus that I can eat to go out to eat in the first place. I don't have a lot of extra money. And I'm like, we just had Christmas. I just spent all of my extra money on Christmas and my kids and bills. And I just, I don't have all of that extra stuff. So do I want to spend time with my friend? Yes. Do I want to spend the money? Do I want to go out to eat? No. So it's kind of like, what's the best option for me? And I didn't express myself well to my friend because I wasn't awake and I hadn't processed anything for the day yet. I'm not a morning person, and when I first wake up, I don't make the best decisions. I don't say the best things. I shouldn't be around people until I've had time to like wake up and pray and eat and and just become a human being again, because I'm just not when I wake up in the mornings. I'm just mean, ornery. I don't process information. I'm just grumpy, growly at people. I'm just, yeah. And I just easily irritated first thing in the morning. I don't like mornings. Me and mornings just don't get along. But the point is, I was praying, and then I thought I just my Al-Anon J friend kept popping into my head, and I thought, okay, I'll message her. So I just sent her a text. I'm like, can you talk? Because I didn't know if she could talk or not. And I just made some muffins because I hadn't eaten all day. And I'm like, I need to eat something. So I made some muffins and I was I was mixing up the muffins and putting them into muffin tins. So I had her on speakerphone. She had me on speakerphone. She's like, it's okay. Nobody else is home. I'm like, it's okay. Nobody else lives with me either. So we're good. But I was talking to her and she just told me how wonderful it was that I reached out, that I was sharing, and that was like the best choice that I could make right now in the moment. And I was like, oh, thank you. This is like boosting me up and making me feel better instead of like making me feel drained. And then I kind of feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to be with my Al-Anon B friend because she's going to drain me, but I'll make her feel better, but I'll just like have no energy left because it's not a give and take sometimes with her. It's a just give, and then every once in a while I do get something back from that relationship, but sometimes I think that relationship is toxic, but it's hard to let go of because I've known her for years and because I've helped her a lot of times and because she's helped me through a lot of times, and she pointed that out in the text message. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm sorry. And then of course she sent me another text message telling me that I needed to add not being selfish and self-centered, that I need to add being selfish and self-centered to the top of my list of things to work on. And I was just like, great. I'm like, I am selfish. I am putting myself first. I do things so that I can get some kind of reward out of it, something in return. I think most people are selfish to some extent. It doesn't mean that I'm not caring. It doesn't mean that I don't love her. It doesn't mean that I don't want to spend time with her. It just means that her timing was off and my timing was off, and we clashed for the day. And of course my Al-Anon J friend was sharing her experiences with me, but she was sharing experiences she had with her husband, which was helpful to some extent. But at the same time, I was kind of like, well, my friendship isn't quite the same as a marriage relationship, but it is a relationship. And I do have the choice whether or not I want to try to make this friendship, this relationship work, or if I want to just let it go. And the thing is, my Al-Anon B friend will not just let me go, but she does go when she gets pissed off at me. And then whenever she needs me, she calls me or she comes over and, then she gets what she needs. And I was like, yeah. So sometimes I think it's not the healthiest relationship for me. But at one point, that's where I was at. I was where she was at, and we helped each other, and we were on the same page, and I didn't mind going out to eat because I was going out to eat, and I was eating things that weren't healthy for me, and I didn't care. And now I care, and I'm trying to take better care of myself. And in the process, it kind of means that I can't do the same things that I used to do with her, and I can't seem to find the right words to make her understand that because I'm not very good at communicating. But I was so grateful to God for helping me to reach out to my Al-Anon J friend and to be able to listen to her story and let her share with me what she's doing and her progress and her experiences, and to allow that to just buoy me up and help me to feel a little bit better for the day. And then I did a few other things that made me feel a little bit better. And I ended up not going out with my Al-Anon B friend, but later that evening she sent me a text message, probably after she'd been out and had something to eat and had some time to process whatever was going on. And she just sent me a text and it just said, I'm sorry about earlier and I hope you have a good night. And that was it. And I just sent her a text back and I just said, thank you. I hope you feel better. And I hope next year is better than this last year has been for you. Because I do. I genuinely do hope that things turn around for her and get better for her, because she's had a lot of rough things happen. And she's in the middle of a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. And I can't fix any of that stuff that's going on. I can't control any of that stuff that's going on with her. I can sympathize with her. I can empathize. I can be like, I understand being stuck in that situation and it sucks. But I don't have a solution. And I know when you're stuck in a situation for long periods of time, sometimes other people get tired of hearing that you're going through the same thing over and over and over again. So I hope people watching my videos don't get tired of my same things over and over and over again, because for me, the same simple little things every day are a struggle for me. And some days I do better than others and I think I can do this and I'm doing great and I'm fantastic. And then something in my life happens and I go back to struggling. I just can't seem to maintain that. And part of that might be ADHD, part of that might be some PTSD, part of that just might be me. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for myself. I'm just trying to learn about myself and how I respond to things and how I react to things and finding better ways to do things. But the older you get, the harder it is to make those little changes and to do things differently than the way I grew up, the way I've always done things. And I've made a lot of progress in regards to that. I read something in my meditationals today about, well, yesterday, about the end of the year and about somewhere in there, my brain will come back to what I was thinking. Sorry. No, I was reading about the end of the day, the end of the year, and looking over the entire year and all the progress that you've made. And I'm just thinking about all the videos that I've made over the past couple of years and the progress that I have made through making those videos, through making the connection to God in my life, to starting out just making gratitude videos. And to be perfectly honest, it was my Al-Anon friend B, that told me to do 100 days of gratitude. And it was God that told me to turn them into videos. But it's snowballed into helping me to grow and be where I'm at today. And not that I'm necessarily where I want to be, but I'm so grateful to see the growth and the progress and to see God's hand in my life this whole year. And I wish that my Al-Anon friend B would follow her own advice. I wish that she would do the 100 days of gratitude. She gets through like 14 or 15 days and then she stops, or she'll do like one day a week or something. And it's like, I'm like, I know it's hard, but it's amazing the difference if you can get through the whole 100 days. And I've really struggled with doing 100 days of recognizing God's hand in my life. And I think it's because I got about halfway through and I started to see how much confidence I was having in myself and how much better I viewed myself in my life. And it kind of freaked me out because I'm not used to feeling that way. So it's a different feeling. It's a different sensation. It's like taking ADHD medication, and I think differently. I process things differently. And I was like, wait a minute, this is just completely different. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different. And I think it was a good different. But then, of course, I had the excuse because my friend was going to edit my videos for me, and then she wasn't editing them. And so I wasn't making them. And I've given up on the editing thing. I will go back to it at some point. I know that I will, because I know the videos are better when they're edited, and I know they're better with the little thumbnails and they'll attract more attention. But I was in the middle of doing these videos and I was feeling great and confident and wonderful, and I was like, I can do this. And I was perfectly okay with that. And then I got excited because someone said they were going to help me, and then they didn't. And that disappointment from others and letting me down and then letting myself down, and then it just kind of snowballed, and it's like, and then I struggled to do it again. So posting all of my videos instead of just making them and saving them until they get edited or something is helping me to motivate myself to make videos again. And I can feel that confidence growing in me again, and that closeness to God again, and knowing that this is something that God wants me to do in my life, even if it only reaches like 10 or 15 people, or maybe it only reaches 1 or 2 people. I don't know. But it helps me to feel better, to spend the time, to take the time to look at my life and see God working in my life, and God telling me to call a friend and to have her share with me and tell me that I was doing amazing, and she was proud of me for just picking up the phone and calling, that I was doing the next right thing, and that if I wanted to try to work things out with my other friend, that I could try to send her a message, I could try to communicate, I could try to stand up for myself, or I didn't have to if I didn't want to. It was completely my choice. And I appreciated her giving me the autonomy and the choice, and not expecting me to follow up and tell her what happened or anything afterwards, just letting me make whatever decision I thought was best for me. And for me, I just went with the prompting that God was giving me, that I should just leave my Al-Anon B friend alone, and that I didn't need to feel bullied or manipulated into going to dinner with her just to make her feel better, because that just ruins my night. And then I feel like I'm just, again, doing it just for her to make her feel better, and I just wasn't in the headspace to do that. And I've done that in the past, and I will probably do it again in the future, where I will just do something to make someone else feel better just because they need it. But I have to have the headspace to do it. I have to be emotionally, spiritually, mentally in a place where I can give that kind of attention to someone. And otherwise, I'm just giving up who I am. I'm just draining whatever energy I have. And then I have nothing left to take care of myself. I have nothing left to give. And then what I'm giving is subpar. It's not good enough. And then they're just upset with me because they're not getting what they want from me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't got anything else to give. I'm already on empty. So I'm grateful that God reminded me that I could take care of myself, that I don't have to go out and do something, that I have a friend, another friend that I could call that could tell me I was doing the right thing, just to kind of make me feel, validate what I was already feeling, which I super appreciated and I so needed. And I'm just so grateful to God for that, and allowing myself the time to just be in the right headspace to deal with my friend, or rather giving my friend the time to process and be in the right headspace to realize that she was just overreacting because she wasn't feeling good. And then she apologized without my prompting or without any of those other things. So I think God knows what he's doing. I know God knows what he's doing. And it just amazes me because that's not at all how I expected my day to go. But it went, and I'm so grateful to God for that, and for helping me to see the progress that I'm making in my life, to help me have friends that validate me and let me know that I'm making the right choices in my life, and that I do have choices in my life, and that there are other ways to deal with relationships. And my Al-Anon J friend even said I could just eat food and just go to the restaurant and drink water or something. I didn't have to like eat something to go hang out with my friend. So I could just go to a restaurant and be like, okay, sure, I'll come hang out with you, but I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to eat anything. And I still feel a little weird about doing that, but I'm like, it's nice to know that I have the choice, or that there's other ways around it. Or I could be like, I don't want to eat something, but if you want to go to the park and hang out, or if you want to go for a drive, maybe we could do that or something. Or maybe go see a movie, which does cost money, but is a little bit more entertaining. It doesn't mean that I have to eat food. That's bad for me. So, but I'm just grateful to be reminded that I have other options and other choices, and that I'm grateful to be validated for what I was thinking and what I was feeling, and that I was okay in the choices that I was making for the day. So yeah, that's what I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.